And thank you for joining us for KBOI 2 News Midday. I'm Brian Moore, and let's get right to your top 11 stories today at 11. Well, the commute on the interstate will have to get worse before it gets better. ITD will reduce I-84 in both directions down to 2 lanes between 10 Mile and Eagle Roads. When you'll see the brake lights coming on and how much longer before that project is complete in a few moments. And a crash sent 2 people and a baby to the hospital. This was yesterday afternoon. ISP says all 3 were inside the vehicle that crashed a few miles west of the stage stop on the interstate. Troopers say the vehicle went off the left shoulder before overcorrecting and winding up in the median. The driver and passengers were all wearing seatbelts. 2 men are dead following a rollover crash on Highway 45 near Melba. Troopers say the driver, 23-year-old Oscar Torres, overcorrected and rolled. He died at the scene. One of the passengers, Aaron Torres Cruz, was life-flighted and died at the hospital. 2 other men inside that vehicle survived. Now, 3 of the 4 people in that vehicle, including the 2 who died, were not wearing seatbelts. 1 person was taken to the hospital following a fairly high-speed rear-end collision at Broadway and Federal Way. Police say an SUV was stopped at the stoplight when the second vehicle slammed into the back of it. The driver of the second vehicle was cited for following too closely. The injuries of the first driver did not appear to be life-threatening. Firefighters were called for a water emergency at Civic Plaza in Boise. That's next to the Ada County Courthouse on Front Street. A sprinkler head on the 6th floor was clipped off inside one of the apartments. A lot of water flowed into that apartment and some neighboring units. The neighbors were evacuated but quickly let back in. Nobody was hurt and no word on the extent of the damage at this point. Police are investigating what caused it. And a man is dead and a woman is clinging to life after they were attacked by a man with a hammer in Tacoma, Washington. The male victim was in his 50s, the woman in her 70s. The suspected attacker has been arrested. Investigators say the 3 did know each other. No motive has been released yet. ACHD plans on building a roundabout in Kuna. It'll go in at Main and Linder, but some businesses on the corner are worried they'll lose business.
They told me that that's what the committee wanted, but I've talked to some of the people who were on the committee, and the roundabout never came up.
The roundabout is expected to be finished by July. Idaho potato farmers say this year's crop is looking good with digging season right around the corner. That's according to the Post-Register. Idaho Potato Commission President Frank Muir told the paper that yields will likely not be better than last year, but the size and the shape of this year's potatoes are expected to be better. And the U.S. Department of Agriculture says about 4,000 more acres of potatoes were planted this year across the state. Canyon County Sheriff Kieran Donahue is under investigation by the Attorney General's office. Little details are known at this time. In a statement, the sheriff says he was made aware that an anonymous complaint had been made alleging misconduct. He's confident, though, he says he'll be cleared of any wrongdoing. The AG spokesman said he could not confirm or deny an investigation is taking place. Officers are working to arrest a man in Kuna after calling off a police standoff yesterday. Investigators say when they showed up, the man locked himself inside his house on Pencil Avenue. Officers backed off to defuse the situation. They say they will try another way to serve a failure to appear warrant. Police say the man had previously been arrested on felony drug charges. And a religious group is threatening to sue the Arbiter student newspaper at Boise State after the paper refused to sell them ad space. Now, the group wanted to promote an upcoming debate on creationism that will be held on campus. The group says the paper is violating its civil rights. The business manager says the newspaper stands by its decision.